Hey there, this video is about why UTM codes are so important. UTM codes are actually little tracking codes that you can add to a URL or a link to identify where the traffic came from. Now, these are so important if you're advertising, because if you have a landing page that you're sending traffic to, or even just a website, you want to add those UTM codes to the end of that URL to identify where the traffic is coming from. Because once you look at your Google Analytics, you're not going to know where this traffic is coming from. It's going to either say it's a referral, or it's direct, or it's unknown. And if you're advertising, you need to know where your results are coming from, where your traffic's coming from. If you're getting conversions, you need to know it's coming from Facebook or from Google or from Instagram. You can identify these using UTM codes. Now, it might sound a little complicated, but it's really quite simple. I'm going to include actually in the description below, this is completely free. I built this myself. It's a UTM Builder. And what it does is it actually, you can plug in your URL right into the Google Sheet, and then you type in the parameters and it'll automatically add it. Okay, in a second here, I'm going to jump on this whiteboard right behind me here, and I'm going to explain what UTM codes are, how it's going to look, and what each part of it means. And if you look down in the description below in this video, I'm actually going to include a free UTM builder that I'm going to build out for you in Google Sheets. This is completely free. I custom built it, and you can use this as a tool if you need to add UTM codes to your URL. It might be a little difficult to do this yourself manually at first, but if you use a tool a few times, you can easily do this yourself, and I'll teach you right on the whiteboard here. So let's jump in. All right, we're going to go into a whiteboard demo here of how to build out a UTM code and add query strings to a URL or a landing page, somewhere where you're going to send traffic to. I'm just going to spitball this just like I would teach in a normal classroom, like you're a student here. I'm not going to do any editing, so bear with me if I have to erase a little thing or I mess up, okay? All right, so first you're going to need a website, right? So let's use an example. So HTTPS. Of course, I'm sorry for my horrible handwriting. Example.com. All right, so we have our website, example.com. So a UTM code is going to be a query string that's placed after the URL, okay? So I'm gonna add it onto here. So a UTM code, a query string will look something like this, question mark, and then it will be parameter, actually no, it's going to be key equals value. And there's not going to be any spaces, okay? This is what's spaced out here is just for an example. It's just going to be key equals value. There's not any spaces in the URL, because if you put a space, it's going to replace it with a %20. And once you save it, wherever you're putting the URL or the query string. So you're gonna end it up with messing it all up, and you're gonna add this %20. So keep all spaces out of this. Another good value or good practice to use is to use always lowercase letters as well. No special characters. You can use dashes or underscores. That's about it, okay? No periods, no commas, no slashes, absolutely none, because that will mess up the link. So if someone's gonna click on this link, you don't wanna screw up where they're going to. Okay, so the query string is basically, it starts with the question mark, and then you're gonna have key underscore value, okay? Now, a UTM code is the key and the value. I believe there's 5 basic UTM codes, okay? So we have source, we have medium, we have campaign, we have content, and we have term. These are our 5 UTM parameters that are used in a variety and most commonly used in advertising campaigns. Your source, where the traffic came from, where. The medium is the what kind of what was used to get them to click on the link. So how, right? So how. That's how I'm just gonna put it here. So let's say you got something, so they went to a website, or they clicked, it came from email. Okay, so a good example for a medium is email or social media, okay? So campaign is what? So what got them to click it? you're running a type of campaign, you want to put that in your campaign variable. Content is basically, you know, what you don't have to use each 5. These are interchangeable. But the content is basically how you can identify what got them to click. If there was a certain type of part of a campaign that you're running, or if I like to put like type. So if it's a certain kind of ad type, I'll usually put it in content. Now you can use this any way you want to, but this is just how I like to do it. And the term is, let's put click here. So basically, these are built out for advertising, basically on Google, right? So you can put source. So let's just put some examples here, okay? Let's say we're gonna run a campaign on Google. All right, so our source would be Google. Our medium would be, let's say you're running a video ad on Google to go onto YouTube. So the medium I would say would be video. All right, campaign name would be, let's say May. Actually, let's stick to all lowercase, best practices here, right? So May dash video, just because I have a May video campaign, for example. So that would be the campaign name. Content, I don't know, let's call it Whiteboard, right? And term, let's just say get started, get dash started. So what this is saying is, okay, someone came from Google from a video medium, and it was my campaign called May Dash Video. The content type was Whiteboard, and the term was get started. Maybe that was like the call to action or the button that was used, get started. Okay, so now we have the 5 sources, medium, campaign, and content and terms built out. So now I'm going to start right here underneath here. I'm gonna build out this query string, what this is gonna look like using these variables here, okay? So let me switch up my color. Let's say purple. Purple's good, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna use URL. URL here is just this, okay? I'm just to save space, I'm not gonna rewrite it. Okay, so we have URL is www.example.com, and then we have a slash, and then for these query strings, I'm gonna start it with a question mark, okay? Then we're gonna do UTM underscore source equals Google. Okay, now I'm good. I did the first one, so let me explain it a little bit what I just did, okay? So we have UTM underscore source, that is the key. Okay, so we have key. And then we have Google, which is the value, okay? So the UTM underscore source is the key, Google is the value. Each one of these UTM code parameters have a key specified with them. You have to use this key because if you use this key, Google Analytics is going to identify these and it's going to assign it to different attributes within its own system. So that's why it's very important. You have to use these codes, okay? So I'm just gonna write them out here, right? So I'm gonna write them out. So if you wanna write them down, you have UTM underscore source. You have UTM underscore medium. You have UTM underscore campaign. And you have UTM underscore content. And you have UTM underscore term. So these are the different keys, right? So let's write out keys. These are the different keys that you're gonna use. They have to match these, okay? Can't go any other way with them or it'll mess up your analytics, right? So you have to use these. All right, so we have our values for source, medium, campaign, content, and term. We're just gonna plug them into this URL. So UTM underscore source, which is right here, we're gonna put that key first, and the value is Google, which is here. Now, we're gonna add more to this. So to have one continuous set of query strings and keys and parameters, you have to connect them with an ampersand. Now, I don't know how to draw an ampersand, so that's the best I can do right here. All right, so, oh my God, that is awful. Wait, I gotta try it again. Okay, that is not much better, but so you have UTM source equals Google, and the next one, UTM underscore medium equals video. All right, so now we have UTM source equals Google, UTM and UTM underscore medium equals video. Now remember, there's no spaces in this. A space is going to put a %20 right in the middle of it and screw it all up. So you have no spaces. Now let's connect, let's do another one, another attempt at ampersand here. Okay, so the next one is going to be UTM underscore campaign equals, what do we do? May video. All right, so I ran out of room on this whiteboard, so I'm gonna end this query string with this, but I'm gonna write in here, okay, so we have UTM underscore content equals whiteboard. Just continuing on here. And you guessed it, UTM underscore term. What would the term be? Term's going to be here, our value that we, our call to action that we're using. So get started. All right. So this, of course, is going to be at the end of this. It's going to be the next one in line. I just ran out of room on the whiteboard, so I put it under here. But these are all, this is going to be a long URL. Remember, you have the whole URL, example.com, and then a slash, and then after that, you're going to do a question mark. Very important. The question mark is going to identify that it's the start of a query string. This is going to say, okay, you're telling the computer, the browser, that this is not part of this. These are not part of each other, okay? They're not the same thing. This is a separator, this question mark. That's why it's called a query string. A query, you're gonna add a query at the end saying, adding a key and a value, okay? So, our keys are each of these, remember? And then, and each UTM code, each UTM parameter gets a value. And these values here connect to the keys. And there's no space, it's just key equals value. UTM source equals Google. UTM medium equals video. UTM campaign equals May-video, okay? Now, the cool part is when you go into Google Analytics, you can actually see all of this. So when traffic comes to your website using this URL, you're gonna be able to say, okay, 10 people clicked on my Google video from my campaign. And I know this because I went into, hey, let's say I go into a source medium report. So what you would do in Google Analytics, you go into your acquisition reports and you can see by source and medium how they got there. So you'll see they got there from, let's just say your source medium report will show this, Google/video. That's how it'll show. It'll show you your source and then your medium. And so you can say, okay, equals 10. 10 people went to my website from there. And you can actually click on this because let's say you have 5 different campaigns running on Google Video. Okay, so this is why you can dive deep into your analytics using UTM parameters, because if you click into this, you can start sorting by campaign. And the beautiful part about this is you'll see all the metrics laid out there. How many page visits, your bounce rate, your conversions, your time on page. You'll be able to see all of that per source, medium, campaign, content, term, whatever you want, just by using all these different UTM codes, right? So that's why it's so important. And I click on ads all the time and I don't see UTM parameters and I'm like, wow, they are just relying on luck. They are putting their money into campaigns and just hoping it converts and results in sales. Really what it says is that you're not trying to optimize this, because if you can go into your analytics and see the results by each medium, campaign, content, term. Let's say you wanted to use 4 different terms. You wanted to try get started or start today or start now to see which one has the best effect. You can change your term on each different ad, and then you can see the results and the metrics associated with it. And that's what optimization is. That's what's going to let you choose the winning term, the winning call to action. It's going to let you choose the winning content or the winning campaign if you're running a bunch of campaigns. So this is really helpful if you're running Google ads or Facebook ads, because you could add the UTM parameters after your landing page URL. Okay, this is also can be used if you're doing direct mail advertising. You can add a UTM parameter at the end of a forward. So let's say if you run a billboard and you put on a billboard, visit our website, www.billboardsforsale.com/highway. Okay, so if they go to that website, you can set up a forward that if they go to that highway link, they will be forwarded to a link that has all of these UTM parameters on it. So you can track, instead of putting all of these on a whiteboard, you can do that using a redirect, and you can see all of the different types of data points that come along with your traffic. So I'm gonna make this really simple for you, okay? I have a builder that I built completely free for you to use. If you scroll down into the description, you could use this, and all you have to do is plug in your URL, okay? Your URL here, plug in your URL. I'll show you, you'll see where the spot is, and then there'll be different cells for you to enter in your source, your medium, your campaign, your content, and your term. And you can enter in all of these, and it will automatically build this for you. It'll automatically build this. All you have to do is after that, all you have to do is copy it and paste it into your Facebook or Google ads when you're setting up your ad. It's that simple. You know, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, especially if you're having trouble with the tool. I'm gonna build that myself in Google Sheets and share it with you. So I hope this helped. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Okay, so I just went through on the whiteboard how to use UTM codes, and hopefully that helped you understand exactly how to put this into practice. But if you have any questions, feel free to go in the comments below and drop a comment, ask a question, how to use this, where to use this, where to put it in, and I'll be happy to help you. A lot of people, you know, it's just so important. A lot of people don't use it, and it kills me, because when you go into Google Analytics, you're gonna be lost. You're not gonna know where your traffic's coming from. This is gonna really help you identify where your conversions are coming from so you can optimize. So, hey, if you have any questions, again, drop a comment. Thanks for watching this video. I'm also going to put in the description a link to my private Facebook group, the Wannabe Digital Marketer, where it's filled with marketers and people that work in SEO and in paid ads. And you can drop a question in there too, and you know, we'd be happy to answer that. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.